Hey guys, Mikey here with TactiCalifornia. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today we are going to discuss which target should you choose for your practice. If you want a TactiCalifornia t-shirt, head on over to eqfreedom.com, linked below. And if you want to come train with us, Tactical Handgun 1 and 2, gonna be awesome. We have some slots open still, August 30th, which is a Thursday. And we have advanced CCW classes. Again, this is designed for people who have a CCW, want to take their training to the next level. That's available September 27th. And there is a link below at TactiCalifornia.net where you can enroll for that training. Speaking of training, which target do you use when you're out there trying to perform the best that you can? Well, that's a great question. And there's three main types that I like to look at: paper/cardboard, steel, and then there's this kind of new third category, which we're just gonna call rubber dummies, but there's a lot of things that can fit into what a rubber dummy represents, even a piece of cardboard. So each one of these has pros and cons. So let's start with paper. Paper is probably the most common target that most people are shooting at, whether it's an indoor range, outdoor range, you go to the desert, paper's cheap and it's widely available. Something like this is an excellent target to choose. I like to use anything that's got these 1-inch squares on it, especially when you're zeroing a firearm. If you are trying to gain data from your performance, there's no better thing than paper, especially gridded paper. If I'm aiming for this bullseye and I land up here, I can count these squares. These are each an inch. So I know, wow, I'm 3 inches high and I'm 3 inches right. That's significantly bad performance, depending on what distance you're shooting at, of course. But typically speaking, 3 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards. This is where you're really trying to make sure your fundamentals are squared away so that when you go back to further distances, you'll know what's going on. So again, data. I can get concrete data. Where I'm aiming and where the hole shows up in the paper should be the exact same place. If that's not the exact same place, even if I'm off by a 1/2 inch or an inch, which is nothing, I still can use that data, I can use that information to help me perform better as a shooter. Paper targets, you get amazing data. They are the thing to use for zeroing, and they're inexpensive and readily available. Let's talk about shooting steel. Shooting steel is great for distant targets that is difficult to have a visual confirmation of where that round may or may not have impacted, because you get an audible confirmation. Now, obviously that sound's gonna be a lot louder when it's struck by a bullet. So all the way from a distance of, I've shot steel at 600, 700, even 1,000 yards away with a 308, and I could faintly hear it. If no one else was shooting, even at 1,000 yards, I could faintly hear that ring of that gong. So it's a very satisfying sound. You know you made impact, and it's just a really fun target to shoot at in general. Steel lasts a long time. It's gonna take a lot of rounds before needing replacing, which makes it a worthwhile investment. Anywhere from $150, $250, even $350 for a solid piece of steel that's gonna be an epic target for you. It's gonna last a long time. Recommend you make that investment if you're serious about training. Again, what steel has to offer is the target's gonna last a long time. It's gonna give you an audible confirmation of the round that hit the target, and it allows you to shoot at further distances without having a visual suspect of where that round landed. Now let's talk about rubber dummies. Rubber dummies have one very specific purpose, and that is to shoot them up close indiscriminately. You will not get things bouncing off of a rubber dummy because it's gonna travel straight through, but the target's gonna seal. So again, like steel, it's going to last you a very, very long time, lots of rounds through it. Eventually it will deteriorate, probably faster than steel will, but still a wonderful target to be able to shoot up close. It gives you a realistic silhouette and also somewhat three-dimensional. You can shoot this thing from different angles. It has a little bit of a dimension to it, so it gives you a little bit more realism when training. Now, you can see here it's been painted. I actually use primer. I found that works a lot better than spray paint on dummies. But you can tell that the black spots are where bullets have impacted. This is the best way you can get data off of the rubber dummy. Hey, where did those rounds go? But as soon as it starts getting like this, you gotta respray it. Otherwise, you're not sure which one was the one that you were putting on the target. Now, as you can see here, the center of his chest, this has taken a lot of rounds, obviously, because this is center mass. This is where I've been aiming. It's where I do a lot of close retention shooting. So naturally, my hip is about where this chest is, so it's no surprise. That's where this guy's wearing out. Can you still shoot this thing? Absolutely. I'll shoot this thing until literally it's cut in half and the top falls off. It's just something to aim at, okay? Rubber dummies are just a way to be able to shoot at something close extremely safely. So if you want the maximum amount of visual data, or if you want to zero your firearm, or even if you want to challenge yourself aggressively, paper is a great way to go, and it's extremely cost efficient. If you want to shoot at distances and still get a confirmation that you hit the target while making a worthwhile investment, steel is the way you want to go. And if you want to shoot tremendously up close safely over and over and over again to really get your repetitions in there, the rubber dummy is the way to go. All in all, there's a reason I have all three targets. It's because I shoot all three different types of targets. If you come to one of my classes, you'll find out we're going to be shooting at all three types of targets: paper, rubber dummies, and steel. So just really understand that right away. There's a reason, there's a place for each one of these targets, but we use all three in my class. If you like this video, please click like down below and subscribe to the channel for more gear reviews, training, and gun news. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram linked below, and our website, TactiCalifornia.net, linked below. If you want to come train with us, click that link. Check us out on patreon.com. If you feel like you want to pledge an amount of $1 or more, you'll automatically gain access to exclusive content, monthly giveaways, and more over there. So check us out on patreon.com. And last but not least, we are a brand ambassador with OpticsPlanet.com. So use the discount code TCA5 for 5% off your entire order over at OpticsPlanet.com. I'm Micah with TactiCalifornia. Thanks for watching.